No Jumper, coolest podcast in the world. We're with Adam, the white man.
Co-hosting.
And we're with the most unfiltered, educated, white man and white supremacist, call it, Coon Award given, a man on the internet, man, Tariq Nasheed, man.
What's up, family? How y'all doing?
Legendary. Happy to have you here.
Man, my pleasure to be here.
How you feeling, man?
I'm good, man. I'm chilling.
Why haven't this No Jumper interview happened like sooner? Like you live in LA.
I know, man. I didn't know, Adam never hollered at me, man.
I've been observing this man on the internet for a long time, but to be honest with you, it never really even crossed my mind that we could one day sit down. So I thank you for bridging that gap. And also, I just want to say that whatever comes out of this man's mouth, the real fans of the audience out there in the audience know that he does what he does and that he's not a plant. I'm not planting ideas in his head. He says wild shit of his own
So he's not a puppet
volition.
of the white man.
That is essentially what I'm trying to get across here, yes.
I know what's crazy, Tariq?
Yeah.
Is when they hear me say, just like some shit that we, like discuss, let's say, on Black YouTube or, like in those little, little sectors, right?
Right.
They see that shit as some like super wild shit, and I'm just speaking like knowing, this is what we discuss on, a daily, man. But
Okay, all right.
yo, man. But first off, Tariq. So let's just start off straight to the fuck shit, man. Fresh and fit. You said Myron is Team Bussy. Now, first off, explain what Team Bussy is, man.
Somebody who might be moist. Somebody might be a little moist.
Flexible.
Yeah, somebody who might be a little sassy.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the problem that I have with Myron and a lot of other people is that the anti-FBA vitriol he was spitting, talking about foundational Black Americans were kind of lazy and they just don't work hard. And, this dude is from a country that failed and he had to flee from his failed country. So it looked kind of weird him saying that. So a lot of people had to check him on that.
Of course. Now, you're speaking directly to like the Asian doll thing or to like them when they went ahead and like, I think they were saying they don't date darkies and, like those aspects.
All of that ties in because a lot of people who are non-FBA, they come from places where they worship white people. So they'll come over here with a lot of vitriol towards foundational Black Americans and love and worship for white people. So they come over here and all of that ties into this white person is God thing. And then that morphs into you foundational Black Americans ain't worth a damn. So that has to be checked and straightened out.
Right, because I'm going to be honest with you, since I've become familiar with so many rappers, there have been a handful of times in which I've heard rappers speaking off the cuff, not on camera at all, and I realized how disinterested they are in dating women of their own race. So then when I see, the argument taking place on Twitter about the fact that, men get money, Black men get money, and then they don't have any interest in dating in their own kind, I mean, it's very much is a real phenomenon.
Well,
But you have to understand this. A lot of rappers, almost most of them now, they're not FBA. Most of them come from immigrant backgrounds. A lot of them come from the Caribbean.
Break that down, for the foundational Black Americans, just
What's
for our
FBA?
fans who don't know about that.
Foundational Black American is a Black person who is a non-immigrant. That's a Black person who was whose lineage goes back to slavery and the founding of America. Foundational Black Americans, our people, our lineage, we literally built America. So that's the difference between just African American. African American is a real vague term that includes anybody.
Right.
Anybody can immigrate over here and be an African American, but we have a very distinct lineage.
Right. And when I heard you break that down in terms of the whole reparations conversation,
Yes.
I don't really understand how anyone could argue otherwise.
Right.
Like
right.
if the goal is to atone for slavery, then
Right.
obviously it should benefit the people who suffered from it.
Exactly. That's why we had to make the delineation. Who's going to get reparations?
Right.
Because what they want to do is try to make it race-based, which it shouldn't be, because anybody who has brown skin can say, well, I was discriminated against, so I need to get some money. It has to be lineage-based, specifically to the people who come from the folks who were enslaved.
Right, but okay, so I definitely agree in terms of, Africans, that's not our shit, my nigga, right? Like, stay the fuck out of that shit. But in terms of, like, the true definition or, like, what's defined as an FBA, there's, like, holes in it, right? Like, for example, if, let's say, like, Meghan Markle, her mother is probably mixed. I think she's mixed, and then her father is white, right? Now, she probably has, like, 25% nigga in her. Do Meghan Markle, like, qualify as an FBA?
If her mother can trace her lineage back to the 1870 census, it's foundational Black American.
Right, but then the thing is this, though, right? I think you said like some shit like if they're white, Now we know America is a like big old melting pot, right? There's lineages where that trace, like it's mixed up. So if let's say Josh says, yo, listen, like I have like roots to like cattle slavery. My like grandfather or was on that like plantation.
Yeah.
Should Josh get it?
No, because he's not classified as white now. He's not a foundational black American. See, that's a Trump-type term. It covers everything. See, African American. Elon Musk is African American. Barack Obama is African American, but he's not a foundational black American. Nobody in his family was enslaved. You understand? Foundational black American just covers all of that. Number one, foundational meaning the people who built the country. Only one group of people who did that, who are black, that's us. Black, us, we're still black.
Yeah.
We're still classified as black and American. That ties us to the land, of this land specifically. So that alleviates a lot of confusion. That's why we like to use that term now instead of just African American, even black. Black is real vague. Rachel Dolezal is black.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
in what way?
Is she black?
Yeah, she's masquerading.
Yeah, she's
that way.
masquerading.
Okay,
but now
yeah.
they're literally
Full
making
black.
a legitimate argument. Is she really transracial? Because they throw the word trans out there a lot. First, it's transsexual, then it's transgender, then it's transracial. Then they're going to get into transhumanism, because that's the thing that they're trying to do now. Mesh people in with robots and machines. So the word trans is a very vague word that covers a lot of stuff. So the transracial thing is actually very real. We kind of take it as a joke, but these people will have folks creating laws saying, well, I'm now classified as black because there's a reparations claim and I feel black, so I want to be black now. That's why we're getting in front of it saying, if you're not a foundational black American, you can't get next to the reparations claim.
But I think it's the same way that you have huge amounts of young people sort of claiming to be LGBTQ because white people, straight, cis people are so often forced to basically confront the horrors of their ancestors' history that it becomes viewed, or even like heterosexual people, it just becomes viewed as very, negative to be in these roles. So these kids kind of flock to this identity group because it allows them to sort of LARP as marginalized.
Right. And they get a lot of money doing that too. That's why they have to latch the LGBT thing onto black people. They always start talking about things like Stonewall. That's supposed to be their civil rights movement for the LGBT community. But Stonewall, there's been a lot of lies about it. That was a situation in New York where some black LGBT people got beat up and they fought the police back, and they made it seem like the police was attacking them because they were LGBT, which wasn't the case. There were a lot of LGBT clubs in New York at the time, so that wasn't the case. Even the guy, what was the guy who got killed? Was it Shepard?
Matthew Shepard. Yeah.
They tried to make that seem like a homophobic attack, but it wasn't. It was a drug deal going bad with a guy who he had a sexual relationship in the past with. So they had to make that into a homophobic situation in order to make it a hate crime.
That's interesting because they do the same thing with that Pulse nightclub shooting where I believe 50 people got killed, but then it was later proven that this wasn't an intended attack on the gay community, even though it worked out that way. I mean, it's kind of strange how that has been very much memory hold because it's not something that the media wants you to talk about at all.
Absolutely. So the white LGBT community, and I did a movie about them called Buck Breaking, about the racism that comes from the white LGBT community that goes back centuries, especially during slavery. They did a lot of foul stuff to black people during slavery. A lot of the slave owners were LGBT. Lord Cornbury was a governor in, I think, New Jersey, who was the one, I think in the 1600s, who helped expand slavery in the Americas. You had people like J. Edgar Hoover, who was LGBT. He decimated the black community. So the white LGBT community, they've been just as racist as the straight community.
Of course.
And then you look at something like, remember the pink vagina hats?
Yeah.
That I think that kind of like universally upset, feminists of color and whatnot, because it was just like a window into how petty and silly the complaints of a lot of women who are claiming to be in a marginalized group or gay people or whatever really are in that situation.
Even now, with the whole monkeypox thing that's going on, and that's really targeting the gay community. I just saw in New York, the monkeypox treatments are going to the white LGBT people, and the black people who they say are being affected the most are not getting the treatment. They're being denied the treatment of that. So the racism still goes on with that.
I have a question that I really want to ask Tariq this. So Flakko, since he is God here, and he's very much somebody who's not from the streets, he's never been part of a gang or anything like that. But there are a bunch of people on this channel who, come from that kind of background in LA. And Flakko's gotten a lot of heat because he's been willing to say such offensive things as, it is wrong to murder a defenseless 16-year-old boy or whatever. Like
he's
taken this anti-gangbanging stance and said some things that I thought were sort of off color. But how do you feel about that? Because it sometimes feels like in the rap game, there's a lot of bullshit that gets tolerated because people just want to, respect our icons in music or whatever.
Well, a lot of stuff that's said in rap or by rappers, that's promoted by white record labels. So they get incentivized to say some real bogus, outrageous shit. The streets don't like that. Let's be clear. The streets don't like no 16-year-old getting killed. That makes the block hot. It messes up everybody's money. That's not good business, killing no teenager, no kids at all. Most of these rappers ain't really from no damn streets. These niggas is corny. They sit up here and they watch one of the people who are on their block or whatever, they watch them do what they did and then kind of mimic that. It's a bunch of CB4 shit going on out here. MC Gusto type of dudes. So when they talk reckless like that, a lot of cats from the streets look at them and say, okay, when they come back to town, we're gonna make them check in. We're gonna make them give up a bag since they wanna live our lives, So out here in LA, they're real big on making dudes check in. They make you, cough up $20,000, $30,000 if you wanna come party out here. So it's real out here. People don't really play all of that false flagging type of thing and talking about street business that you're not really connected to.
Yeah? But so how do you feel about him being so open about having these opinions? Because there's a lot of pressure on you to basically fall back and just sort of fall in line and be like, yeah, I mean, all this gangster shit is just great.
No, so the thing is this. So we come, I'm not even sure like Tariq, and he's bigger than like the black sector now, but we've come from a place on YouTube where it's the doxing, the slandering, et cetera, right? So where, so like the hate I'm getting, like I'm used to it already, right? So like when they say, yo, Flakko, you shouldn't really, speak out against violence in our community, so what, right? I'm still gonna do it, man, but back to reparations though, right? So what is the, I guess, like solution? How do these white motherfuckers make it right?
Cash payments. It's real simple. It's real simple. People try to want to redefine what reparations are. No. Reparations is the same thing they're giving Native Americans. Whatever you're giving them, give it to me.
Of course.
What you gave to the Japanese when they put them in internment camps in World War II, they gave them money. Give that to me. Right now, they're giving billions of dollars to Ukrainians. They're giving money to Afghans. They're giving money to Hispanic immigrants. Give that money to us, the people who are really aggrieved who built the country. Same thing. See, when it comes to reparations for us, they all of a sudden want to redefine what reparations are. Well, reparations, that's education. Fuck that. No education. Education is relative. Living life is education, and also if you go to a school, that doesn't guarantee it's going to transfer into money. So give us the money and I'll go get my own education. Give me the money, I'll go get my own land. Give me the money, I'll go get my own schooling or whatever. So we need money, cash money.
Of course. So like the thing is this, right? I think like an old clip surfaced where like you were saying, yo, if you give niggas, let's say like $10K a month, like January 1st, by January 15th, that should be gone, right? So people are saying, yo, like, he's being hypocritical now, but again, like I give people room to grow. So so are you saying, yo, like I said that, let's say what, like 12 years ago, I think?
Yeah, and I still stand on you. If you give it to like hood rats and shit like that, you just give it to people who don't know what they're doing, or give it to people who are not of our lineage. That's going to go out the window. But I'm mainly talking about people with with the gutter mentality. If you give them paper, they're going to mess the money up. But we should get our money. I'd stand on that right now. We should get cash money.
What does the actual political process of making that happen look like? Because I feel like reparations is something that it's hard to argue against the fact that it seems like the only right and moral course of action. But then also from my perspective, it seems almost impossible to imagine it actually happening.
Well, the thing is, they didn't want to release black people out of slavery. When we made that happen, they didn't want to give us civil rights in the 60s. If you look at some of the polling before 1965, most people were like, there's not going to be any kind of rights for black people. We're always going to have a segregation type of thing. And black people fought against it, and we made it happen. We've never really focused solely on reparations for foundational black Americans. That's why we haven't really gotten it. Whenever black people fight for something, we go into this universal thing where we're going to do it for minorities. Let's just do it for people of color. That's what affirmative action was. It was supposed to be for black people, and then we let it be for minorities. And everybody but black people get affirmative action. White women, Hispanics, Asians, LGBT, all of these people are considered minority. So now we have a movement where we're focusing on our lineage, and I think we'll get it because we are a political bloc. And if we vote or don't vote, us withholding our vote, that will move the needle a certain way. Because if people don't get into the political process, if you don't have any confidence in the voting process, that society is dangerous because they will start looking for ways to rectify their own problems.
Even within my circle of hosts on here, I've noticed the mood on Trump softening a lot over the past couple years. And even when you read the polling, Mexican people are moving towards Trump. I feel like the black audience he's really grown on them. What do you make of that?
I can understand why, because this administration, the Biden administration, they're horrible, especially with black people. They're trash. Right. And I told people not to vote for the Biden administration. Biden tooted his ass up to black society, didn't do anything, and they were proud to not do anything for black society. But they ran on Trump is the boogeyman. You got to vote for me because Trump is going to get you. He's a big old racist. All right, if he's racist, fine. His racism is not even more deeper than Biden's racism. Biden has a track record of harming black people with his policies, the crime bills, the multiple crime bills. Kamala Harris, the stuff she did out here to black people in California was horrible. And I always point out, they try to make Trump the boogeyman. Trump didn't put any policies together that harm black people. I'm not even a fan of Trump. But Trump did not put a policy out there that specifically harmed black people. So they're not going to use the boogeyman tactic with Trump.
It kind of says a lot that the mainstream media, I think, did such a good job as painting Trump as a racist early on. And it feels like that really hasn't stuck over time. I think like the mainstream media accusing a president or a candidate of being racist just doesn't really carry the same emphasis that it did.
And what's interesting, the media, they will only talk about racism if they could put it on a right winger. You notice that? Yeah. Whenever they talk about racism or calling anti-black racism out, they always have to do it with a Republican. You had people like Ed Buck, who had dead black men coming out of his house multiple times. The white media never referred to him as a racist.
Big time political donor.
Right, big time Democrat donor. They still ignore that to this day, and he's never really been charged with the murders.
And his fetish was injecting gay black men with methamphetamines, but so much of it that they would basically like convulse and have seizures and die in front of him. And he only got caught because a couple of them ended up escaping from his house and basically running to the gas station down the street, and the cops were able to put it together.
Exactly.
I know he was arrested, so what was he charged for, do you know?
Like drug possession. It was like a drug charge. It's not a murder charge.
It wasn't until there were two black dudes who ended up dead in front of his house that they ended up starting to put it together. The first one wasn't really cause for alarm, apparently.
Yeah.
Now, like we also, again, with Trump and Biden, bro, like we have horrible options.
Yeah.
But I do believe we do have to vote. Now, you've been against that. You said, bro, like black folks don't vote for none of these niggas if they can't offer shit. So do you like stand by that saying like black folks shouldn't vote? Because I feel like, bro, if we, again, but not we, but like y'all, right? Like died for this shit, right? Like you guys marched and died for our right to vote. So why would it be don't vote opposed to, even if you have to vote for, let's say, like a third party or write somebody in, still make your voice count?
Well, what we do, we didn't die for the right to vote. We died for tangibles, and voting was just a vehicle to get those tangibles. But we have to be strategic with the way we vote and the way we hold our vote, because not voting is a strategy as well. It's just like playing blackjack. When you're in Vegas playing blackjack, if you hit a certain number, you better strategically hold. Like, no, I'm not going to hit again because I want to see what this other person's going to do. I want to see if they're going to tap out. And we're looking at the Democrats tap out right now. If they fail, that's fine. We need a whole new party anyway because they haven't done anything for black people who's been supporting them for the last 50 years, and we've been their voting bloc. It's disrespectful for them to not support us. And the Republicans, they mess up by just having so many blatant races around, so we don't want to support that. So we're better off saying, hey, we're not going to touch the political process, and we're going to come up with solutions to our own problem. Let me tell you something. The reason why we have so many murders now, it started under Obama. See, they try to put all this stuff on Trump. No, these murders of black people started under Obama. It went on because black people were sitting around waiting on Obama to do something. We were waiting on him to do something about Trayvon Martin. We were waiting on him to do something about Mike Brown. We were like, hey, we're going to hold off, but we got a black president. We know he's going to do something. Well, it's his second term. Give him time. He going to really show out on that second term. We kept making these bullshit excuses for Obama. He never did anything, so we understood that we had to go out in the streets and make it happen. That's why with the George Floyd thing, when that went down, the city started, not the city, hell, the country, and then the world turned on fire because we knew we had nobody to come to our aid, and we had to do it ourselves.
Looking back at the protests or whatever you want to call it of 2020, when you look back at it now, does it feel like the world has changed in any relevant way, or would you say that the people, if anything, are kind of more disillusioned at this point?
But to a certain degree, it let people know that the streets can turn up just like that. Some policies got pushed. There was some defunding of the police. There were some people who were punished. We got some of these people, these race soldiers locked up. So there was some change, but it has to be consistent. Even after the protests, after the riots, after the fighting, we still have to be consistent. What happens with us, a lot of times we get a victory, then we get out in the street and we want to party for the next 5 damn years. So we got to stay focused on making sure that the people who harm us are punished. We got to make sure that the people who run for office are going to work for our best interest.
But Tariq, right? But that's it though, right? So how do we represent, I guess, the change that we, like for example, if we don't vote and we rely on Adam, Joshua, right? And okay, so if you're saying like black folks don't vote at all, then the white folks, who probably won't have our best interests at heart, right? Or, like white folks who have, let's say, like a different agenda, then we have to live in a country currently that's like ran on, like whatever policy they're voting for. So how do we still represent change without voting?
Because we have to start looking to each other.
Yeah.
Asian people don't vote a lot at all. They're the least amount of people who vote. They vote the least. Yeah. But they got all types of hate crime bills for them. They got all types of money allocated towards them because they work with each other as a group. And it's not the political process, it's their cohesion as a group. They know who they are. They're going to be codified with each other. They're going to have an economic base among each other. And that's how they can get stuff done. We're trying to do the same thing as Foundation of Black Americans.
Yeah. So speaking of the Asian crime bill,
yeah,
like were you shocked when Joe Biden came into office, promised us, he promised us everything, my dog. Yeah. And then the first shit he got in office and he did an Asian crime bill and nothing for black folks. Were you shocked when that happened?
Not really, because I know Biden has been an anti-black racist for years. What I really didn't like and I thought was very disrespectful when the black people got killed in Buffalo, they got massacred by that white supremacist, and instead of giving black people a hate crime bill specifically for us, he brought the group BTS into the White House and said, hey, look at these guys. Oh, man, we're going to give a hate crime bill for Asians. That was very disrespectful to us. That's why we're going to go to Washington, D.C. this October, and we're going to be rallying for reparations, and we're going to be rallying for an anti-black hate crime bill, and we're going to be rallying for punishment for these white supremacist groups that they allow in law enforcement. They know good and well that you have card-carrying white militia groups all in law enforcement. Out here in Los Angeles, people are testifying that they're part of these white supremacist groups within the sheriff's department. This is like an open secret that nobody does anything about. So we are going to have to make noise about it since our politicians are not doing it. This is why I say we have to start doing things on a grassroots level ourselves.
Now also too, so FBA started, I believe you was with the ADOS first, right?
Well, ADOS is something that was started really by a man named Norris Shelton that's been around for a long time. All right.
And then Yvette Cornell kind of like hijacked it or what?
Yes. Yeah. That person took that and started using it as a hashtag. Yeah. I'd been using the term Native Black American because I got it from a man named Claude Anderson who's been using the term Native Black American for years. And when using the term Native Black American, sometimes people would get confused by that. They were like, do you mean a black Cherokee, a black, Seminole? No. I said, let me change that term a little bit and call it foundational Black American so we don't have any confusion, so people don't confuse us with Native Americans. And then the movement kind of took off from there.
Wait, so do you think that, like I'm aware of Claude Anderson and like Dwayne Calloway. Now, there's a theory of that like blacks were already here. Like we definitely was here before slavery. Now,
right.
Now, I do know that Juan Gerardo came in like the 1400s, right? So like
in Mexico, he was the person who cultivated weed in Mexico, and he was a translator and an explorer. He was a Moor.
Yeah, right. So he was here like before slavery, but like as far as I know, and he's being like I guess named and documented as the first black person, but like
no. He wasn't. No. There were. Even before Columbus, there's evidence that there were black people coming over, black people who were Moors, because when Columbus came over and went to Cuba, they saw mosques. And when Balboa, I think he went down into South America, they saw mosques and they saw these Islamic houses that were down there. So there were black Muslims coming back and forth. They brought a man named Estevanico, who was black, and he was an explorer, really one of the first foreign explorers to come into the interior of the United States with the Spanish, and I think he got as far as Arizona. So black people have always been here with the explorers and beforehand. And they brought Estevanico because he spoke different languages. He spoke Arabic and all of this stuff. And many of the Native Americans, they knew all of these different languages too. So a lot of black people were translators. So we've been here before the Spanish.
Yeah, here, right? So like, I definitely do agree. Now, there are kind of like the miscommunication, especially from like the weirdos like Dwayne Calloway, you know.
That's a non-fact. That's a troll, man. And
yeah, right, muddying up the water.
That's a troll.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
right?
That's somebody who just says shit just to be saying it to sell books. And, you know, that's a troll. So we shouldn't mix troll shit up with real scholarly information.
So Dwayne Calloway is the Negro and who claims that fucking Harriet Tubman never existed.
Yeah,
he's a fucking clown,
yeah,
right?
that's clown shit, yeah.
Now, but clowns like that are muddying up the water. So like, what's like, so in terms of like the percentage of African Americans who were already here versus those who got brought here, you know, like from Africa, like what's the percentage, would you say?
I think there's a high percentage because it's kind of hard to tell.
Yeah.
But we do know around 3 to 6% of the people brought over from Africa actually came here. That's a very small percentage.
Yeah, of course.
But a lot of the people here were already black Aboriginal people. Even when the explorers came over here, they described them. They were like, these look like the same people from Ethiopia. There's a reason why they called them Indians, because they look like the dark-skinned people of India.
Yeah.
You know, so there were a lot of black-skinned people here, and they just enslaved them where they were. And then when the African people were brought over, they just kind of mixed everybody together and said Negro, because they wanted to erase everybody's lineage so that people wouldn't escape, so that the treaties that they had with other Indian tribes, they wouldn't escape to those tribes. So they would get these people, especially the children, and completely erase their background. In fact, the first treaty the United States had was a treaty with Morocco, 1793, I think. Morocco was the first country to recognize the United States as an independent nation. And the black Moroccans had a deal with the U.S. that the U.S. can go over there and trade in the Mediterranean Sea, but the Moroccans would not interfere with the slave ships. They would not interfere with any of their trade. And if a Moroccan happened to be captured over here, they had to be let go. You know, so they didn't want to do that in the U.S. So they would just erase a person's background and not tell them, hey, this person is from Morocco. You put him on a plantation somewhere, nobody knows where he's from. So they made a real big deal about erasing our background.
Of course. You see, like that's where I guess like we defer, right? Because I definitely do understand due to Juan Gerardo and immigration, you know, that there were black folks here before slavery, right? But to say only 3 to like 6% of Africans came over here, like,
that's documented. That's very well documented.
No, right here, right. So like, so like what? But like 10 million people came, like, right, like through slavery.
No, there wasn't 10 million here. 10 million came through the Western Hemisphere. Most of the black people went to Brazil. They got a lot of black people from Africa, but they went into South America and the Caribbean. You got it?
Yeah.
Only a small percentage actually came here to North America. Okay.
Right.
So when all of those 10 million, you got to understand they're spread out all over the Western Hemisphere.
Yeah.
So
not right, but like, so like in terms of immigration. Of let's say Africans or blacks, right, and who came here before, let's say like the 1700s, though, right? Because right.
Well, as far as immigration, that's a different thing. It wasn't really too many black people immigrating over here.
No, like slavery.
Slavery is not immigration.
No.
Immigration,
definitely, right?
Slavery is not immigration at all.
Right, but I haven't seen nothing that can say, yo, there were more Aboriginal black folks here than the millions of slaves that were brought over here.
Well, the thing is, when you look at the numbers don't really add up. There were a lot of black people over here, and what they try to do, because they saw, based on the records, and they kept meticulous records of who came over here, because they had to insure people. So Lloyds of London, all of these people got meticulous records. It was around, I want to say 300,000.
Okay.
And then you see all of these millions of black people, and people say, how did that number jump up so much? They try to say, well, it was slave breeding.
Okay.
Which, no, they weren't breeding them that damn fast. We're not rabbits, you know. So there were a lot of black people who were already here. This is very well documented.
Now, I've seen you, like, you've gone back to Africa before, right?
Many times.
Yeah. So even like past interviews too, you know, like you've been like real positive like towards Africans in general.
Still am.
So why are people like Yvette Carnell calling you xenophobic? Like, where did that come from?
That's a clown. That's a non-factor. That's a non-factor.
Yeah.
You know, people who are non-factors are not pertinent to serious conversations that we're having. This is a serious conversation.
Who do they say he's xenophobic against?
Yeah,
Just other black people who aren't foundational black Americans?
just certain people just say shit for attention, and I don't like to give it to them when we're having a real thorough conversation. We're chopping it up like true players here.
Probably part of the argument against you sort of dividing the black community or whatever is that you're dividing the community and that people should be sticking together to fight for the same goal and everything, which, you know, you hear a lot of that argument about the Democrats and the left in general. What's your approach on that? Is truth just that much more important than political viability?
And see, the thing is, people get on this thing where we all got to fight together when foundational black Americans start calling everybody out for their off-code behavior. The problem is you have so many people who are non-FBA trying to speak for us, and they're misrepresenting us. And we've warned people for years, hey man, get these people out of here who's misrepresenting us. When we talk about reparations, we have somebody who's black hop up and say, well, I'm black and I don't need no reparations, man. We being lazy, looking for handouts. And then we look at the person's background. The person ain't even qualified for reparations. The person's from Ghana somewhere. So we've had so many people misrepresent us. Candace Owens, she identifies as Caribbean. This woman gets paid to go out here and denigrate black society. They use her melanin as a shield for their own racism, white society. Too many people who are non-FBA, they allow the white supremacists to use them as a shield to facilitate their racism. So when we see all of these people talking about y'all black people are lazy, y'all better stop all this crime, and then we look at these folks like, why are you talking like that around these white people? Come to find out, they're not even FBA. So we're calling all of that out because they wouldn't let us do that over there. I can't go to Nigeria or Ghana or even Jamaica and talk down on the people sitting next to white people. They would stone me to death. They don't play that game out there, and we're not playing that game now.
No, definitely. Like, we understand that part. I guess like where people are saying is, yo, there's coons everywhere, right? You trust me. I've been somebody who's been staunch against African coons. So, you know, like they exist.
Define that.
A coon is okay, for example, like an African and who comes here and starts it off with, yo, like immigrants come here and do better. Yo, like black folks are just inherently lazy. Shit like that.
Okay.
Coons, right? You know, they're against blacks and they feel as if the white man or the white way of living is better.
Shit on their own people for their own personal benefit.
Not all people, because they shit on like FBAs.
Yeah.
Those are coon Africans. But why can't we say like, yo, there are some coon Africans who come here, but that's really not like the, you know, like the general like sense, right? Like for example, right? Like most Africans that I know ain't on that coon shit. Just like, yo, there are black coons as well. Sorry, I'm FBA coons as well. Right. So why is it not, yo, let's both come together and say, fuck the coons? Why is it like a narrative of, yo, there's Africans or most Africans come here and shit on us?
The thing is, FBA coons, we identify them, all right? We don't even let y'all get them. We say, hold on, we got this. This is one of our niggas. Let's get him. Jesse Lee Peterson, coon. We call him out. He was a coon. Larry Elder, coon. We call him out. Diamond and Silk, we call them out. We get family business together before they go out here and embarrass us. So when they start talking, we say, hey, this ain't is a coon.
You see a Daily Beast article came out today saying that Jesse Lee Peterson's been sucking dick?
I knew Jesse was moist. I did an interview with Jesse and I said, Jesse, dude.
Beyond sucking dick though, because like dudes did like a whole roundtable interview. It was like 20 niggas talking about like they had like menage a trois.
They were running they running a train on Jesse. They running a coon train on him.
That's crazy.
But again, our coons, we know how to call them out. The problem is the foreign coons, nobody's calling them out. Nobody's letting us know who the coons are, who's coming over here. They're just kind of blending in, and nobody's saying, hey, that person over there, man, you better watch out for him. So we have to say, hey, we're going to have to start screening for the coons, and there might be some collateral damage in that, but that's needed because nobody else is doing the job.
Of course. So speaking of coons, if you had to name one name, who's the biggest coon right now in 2022?
Oh man, it's an Olympics right now. Man, you got so many gold medals.
Olympics.
It's a coon Olympics. You know, we had a coon train award. We had a whole award show a couple of years ago where we were giving coons awards.
Tariq Radio, subscribe to the channel.
Yes, Tariq. I actually gave Jesse his award in person.
Yes,
I gave him
I've seen that.
Yes. So yeah, we call them out. But now it's so bad now. And that's why we haven't had the award show, because we don't have enough awards to give out. There's too many coons out here now, people who are willing to sell out on the right and the left, because a lot of times the coons would be the right wingers, but you have these Democratic coons out here now. So it's all over the board right now. So,
and at one time where you gave out one of these awards was during a Vlad TV interview that you apparently showed up at, and you decided that you wanted to give out one of these awards.
You're about to give Tommy Sotomayor the case of the beats of his life.
Can you break down what happened there, and was that the end of your relationship with Vlad?
Kind of, sort of, because what Vlad did, and this is what I think. I was on the show. I was on Vlad's show. He interviewed me. The interview was cool. And then right after, we got this guy, knowing that the guy was kind of going back and forth with me. And I didn't like that. I didn't like, don't put me into some beef and then try to use me to pump up a beef. That's what I think that he was doing. So I just went down there to see what was popping.
Now, be real. Did Vlad give you the Addy? Like, did Vlad?
No. He already had the Addy because he
I
already did his
time
own
and
interview.
address though, like the time. Okay.
No. I've been there before, and plus, Tommy was tweeting about it.
Yeah.
He was like, hey, I'm here, Vlad, everybody. He was tweeting about it.
During the video, you can hear Vlad being like, "Did you tweet about the fact that you were going to be here?" He's like,
Got you, because
yeah.
because that was like the narrative of Vlad TV set this up so you guys could.
Because Tommy started accusing Vlad right away as soon as Tariq ran in there.
Right. And I went down there because Tommy kept threatening me, like he was going to kill me. Well, I'm going to kill you. And I'm like, well, damn, let me go get killed real quick,
Definitely didn't seem like he wanted the smoke in that
I think that most people, like the coons, don't even know like how big you're in person.
Yeah, a lot of folks don't know.
He's like, what, 6'4"? Because Adam is 6'3". You're like 6'4", 6'5".
Yeah. You 6'3"?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'm about 6'4", 6'5", yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, a lot of folks, because y'all see me sitting down all the time.
Yeah. Now, yo, bro, like when you walked in, what was the fear in Tommy's eye? Yo, was you like, damn, man, I can't even do it to him, bro, because I
wouldn't go sucker, I wouldn't go sucker punch him, because he would have been like, oh, I got sucker punch, But more power to him, man. I think he's going through some things right now, and I hope he's doing all right, really, because I don't like that was like almost a decade ago. So yeah, I hope that dude is doing all right, man. Folks that I've had beefs with, man, I'm not even tripping on that, like Umar and all these folks. I hope that they do good, man, because we got a bigger thing out here to deal with. You know what I'm saying?
Now, like the thing with Tommy, do you feel like, because when Tommy was at his height, it was definitely cooning, right? Attacking black women, black men, et cetera, et cetera. Do you feel like the white supremacists used up Tommy and then spit him out?
Yeah, what they do, they like to get a black person who's talking down on black society and then prop them up so they can hide their racism. They're like, hey, look at what this guy said about you folks. I didn't say it, this guy said it. Yeah. That type of thing.
Candace Owens got the easiest job in the world.
Oh yeah.
She's a young, pretty black girl, and she's well-spoken, and she's saying literally everything that the GOP wants Americans to believe. And like, think about, like, I heard her talking the other day about how she's doing a documentary about how George Floyd's murder was justified. Can you imagine a white guy making that documentary?
Right.
I mean, it would be viewed as like pure KKK hate speech. She can kind of get away with it, and there's some significant percentage of black people who are probably going to fall for this.
Yeah, but her job is to really lend her melanin to the white supremacists, to say the racist things about black society that white people can. And they have whole white think tanks that hire these people. There's a whole, that's Brandon, what's that, Tatum, that police officer guy. He does the same thing. So they have a whole bunch of people on payroll to do the dirty work for them.
Yo, that's crazy, man. Now, also, too, speak about your past, because I always call, like, Tariq Nasheed, like, you were, like, the godfather of, like, the whole, like, the manosphere giving game shit like that.
Yeah.
One, why do you feel like, I guess, like, that community kind of, like, erased you out of history? And do you feel like you get the credit for the manosphere in the red pill content?
No, they still give me credit. They give me credit because I wrote the first book that really blew that thing up. My book, The Art of Mackin', that I wrote it in '99, came out in 2000. It was a huge seller. So that kind of kicked that whole thing off. So people still kind of acknowledge that. I just haven't written a relationship book in a long time. And you have a lot of people out here trying to feel their way around. The closest person to come to the level of what I was doing was our good brother Kevin Samuels, rest in peace to him. And he followed me, and he read my stuff, and he understood my work, and he took it to another level because I started focusing more on the racial aspect of relationships because talking about relationships is one thing, but relationships and race, they kind of go hand in hand because you're talking about getting with people and procreating with people, and then that lends into a racial situation. So I wanted to start focusing on race.
Was there anything that was part of Kevin Samuels' platform that you disagreed with? Because you had countless people who were really trying to paint him as, you know, a black woman hater. Right. And then you have the whole other side who's basically saying he was answering a lot of these women's questions. His audience was largely women, and he was really kind of telling a lot of people shit that they needed to hear, right?
No, Kevin was telling a lot of real truth, and he was telling his truth, and that's why people rock with it. Sometimes when you tell the truth, a lot of people want to get offended or pretend to be offended, but they will tune in and listen to the truth because they ultimately respect it. We've been taught in our society that you're supposed to sit here and kiss everybody's ass, and you kiss women's asses, and you're not supposed to tell them the truth, and you're supposed to pander to them. And he just didn't do that. And especially as a black man, we're supposed to just kind of be contained. We're not supposed to wag the finger at anybody except other black men. So when we start pointing the finger at certain relationships in our community, or we start talking about white supremacy, they look at that as us being out of bounds. So that's why I think Kevin got a lot of flack, because he pointed the finger at people outside of black male society.
Of course. Now, speaking of Kevin Samuels, now, do you feel like the black family structure is the strongest it's ever been, or do you feel like it's declining?
No, it's not the strongest it's ever been, because we've had too many people infiltrate our family relationships, man. During the feminist movement in the 60s, that was a big factor that undermined us. The drug thing undermined us. The prison industrial complex undermined us. And now the white LGBT community, that's undermining us, because they're promoting that heavily in black society. They're promoting non-procreative sex. They're saying that black men and black women don't need to be together. It can be two men. It can be a trans person. So that's something to undermine us ultimately. And that's very deliberate. The dominant society don't give us nothing as black people. They don't give us what we ask for. They're not giving us our reparations, our education funds, our housing funds out here in LA. Thousands of black people are homeless, but they will pour billions of dollars into us getting into same-sex relationships. So right there, we should be weary of what their agenda is.
And when you look at the trans issue in particular, I feel like it's such a losing battle for people who are progressives, who you probably agree with on a lot of stuff. And then the whole conversation just gets muddled so much. No, but I mean, you identify as like a Democrat for the most part, even though you
no, wrong one.
I hate the Democrats, and I'm not a Republican. I'm nonpartisan. I'm not anybody who's going to give me a reparations check. I'm that.
Yo, how do you feel?
Sorry,
no, right?
This is just on the topic. This is a clip that went viral yesterday, where basically there was a professor who was brought into court to have part of this debate about abortion, was debating with this dude Holly. And this, to me, it stood out to me, because everybody on the right seems to think that this dude is clearly the only one who's making sense, and everybody on the left seems to think that this chick just absolutely slam dunked on him. And this is a young black woman arguing with a white Republican man.
You've used a phrase, I want to make sure I understand what you mean by it. You've referred to people with a capacity for pregnancy. Would that be women?
Many women, cis women, have the capacity for pregnancy. Many cis women do not have the capacity for pregnancy. There are also trans men who are capable of pregnancy, as well as non-binary people who are capable of pregnancy.
So this isn't really a women's rights issue.
We can recognize that this impacts women while also recognizing that it impacts other groups. Those things are not mutually exclusive, Senator Hawley.
Oh, so your view is that the core of this right then is about what?
So I want to recognize that your line of questioning is transphobic, and it opens up trans people to violence by not recognizing them.
Wow, you're saying that.
I'll just cut it right there. But this to me stands out as something very clear, where the layman, or really even just anybody with some common sense, is going to hear this conversation and be like, this guy seems like he's asking some reasonable questions, and she's accusing him of transphobic violence.
Right, and basically that sounds like a person who has been given talking points by these white liberal feminist organizations and LGBT organizations. Then again, they have to get a black face to do it. You got to get a black face to do all of this stuff, so that you can tie in black oppression to the white LGBT community. And I think that woman might even be Caribbean if we look into her background, because I know she's from down in Florida. She kept using the term birthing people. She wouldn't say the word woman. This whole thing where they want to erase genders, that's a very dangerous thing, because that's how they can control people. When you don't identify as a particular gender. They did that in slavery. In slavery, they erased our genders. They would put black boys in dresses, and they would work the women like men. Sojourner Truth had a very famous speech saying, "Ain't I a woman? Y'all work me like a man. Damn, ain't I a woman like these white feminists?" So this whole thing of ungendering people, especially us, that's a slave tactic, and they still do it now.
Yo, and do you even feel like, so the first feminist rally happened at Seneca Falls. Black women couldn't be a part of it, couldn't vote, couldn't do shit. So why do you think that our sisters are now adopting the feminist philosophy when feminism started and they were excluded from it?
A lot of our FBA sisters are not doing that. Let's be very clear. A few of them did in the 60s. Even before the first wave, they tried to get Ida B. Wells and all of these people to be down with the white feminist movement, and Ida B. Wells wasn't rocking with them. So anytime they say Ida B. Wells was a feminist, that's just really not true. She called them out because of their racism. Susan B. Anthony, Elizabeth Canton, all of these people, they were hardcore white supremacist women. They hated black people. And even the feminists in the 60s, they had that same hatred for black men too. You look at feminist lawyers today, Gloria Allred, her whole roster is going after black men, using these racist-ass techniques and strategies going after brothers. A lot of FBA sisters don't rock with these white feminists because they have a history knowing that these white women can't stand them. A lot of foreign women, if you look, especially with the Black Lives Matter people and all of those folks clicked in with these white feminists, these aren't FBA women. They come from, they ain't, I'm calling them out. These are not, they ain't FBA, and they go along with that line. Tarana Burke and all of these Me Too people, they're not FBA folks. So they go along with that program because they understand those white women are trying to undermine foundational black American society, and a lot of these non-FBA folks are down with that program.
One quick question. When you saw Dr. Umar in the mall, did you think, did your mind go to, he's probably just buying incense, or did your mind go to, aha, he's getting some snow bunny pussy?
Yeah. I said, I know what Umar ain't doing.
My mind went to giving him the benefit of the doubt. I would like to just note that.
I didn't know, but I thought it was funny. Just the visuals was funny. It was a funny visual, but he cleared it up, so that's good.
No, but here's why I don't agree with that, right? Because feminism was here before, again, like you guys like fought to have like black immigrants come here, right? So
yes, we did.
Yeah, right. So I do give y'all credit for that, right? Because again, without FBA, we wouldn't be here because you guys marched and said, yo, bring our black brothers over here, right? Right. So, so thank you for that. But also too, feminism existed before we even got here, right? So
in the white community.
Nah, come on now.
There wasn't no feminism in the black community like that. How?
In what? The 50s and 60s?
In the black community?
Our sisters were definitely feminist.
How so? You better get it.
No, right?
Spit it out.
No, right? No, listen. Again, especially in the 50s and 60s, right? It was definitely a woman empowerment thing. And they definitely were rocking with feminism back then.
Not in black society.
Here, right? So you're saying that in the 50s, again, in the 50s and 60s, that black women weren't feminist at all.
Did you see footage of the 50s and 60s, black women getting hosed down with water hoses and dogs sicked on them? What privilege of feminism did they have? It was black men and women getting attacked together in the 1960s. There was no privilege or benefits. Sisters weren't dumb thinking, okay, well, damn it, they doing this to me because I'm a woman. No, they knew what it was. We were riding with each other heavy in the 50s and 60s. After 65, the Civil Rights Act passed, they really started pushing feminism heavy in the black community in the 70s. And there was kind of a wave with that with black women. But that tied into the LGBT movement too, because the free love and the free sex hippie thing popped off. So they started saying, hey, come on, sisters, we'll lick you up and we'll hug on you and we'll have all of this interracial sex and you can be a feminist and we're all girl power. So that thing lasted for a quick minute, and then we got a wake-up call, later in the 70s, seeing that, hey, this feminist thing ain't working for black society.
No, here, so like you're definitely correct when you says feminism in the 50s and 60s weren't really benefiting them, right? Why? Because again, like the white women were cool and chilling in the crib while black women were outside getting hosed down.
Right.
But that ideology was still around. Again, even in the 70s, right? It was still
in the 50s,
there.
There was no feminism in black society in the 50s.
All right. Yeah, right, cool. So, here, so like, and how about this? Let's say 1970s, right?
Okay, right.
It was still prevalent. At that time, we were here, but like we weren't here in droves of numbers as you see now.
Yeah, you were. The feminist thing in black society coincided with the immigration movement. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Okay. You can't show feminism before 1965 in black society. You didn't have sisters running around here talking about girl power and all that stuff when they were being segregated against. Black women were still getting lynched in the 50s. You understand? Rosa Parks had to sit on the back of the bus in the damn 50s. What feminism? We knew there was no girl power, no feminine privilege in black society. We knew that. That came in the 70s, and a lot of those people, Shirley Chisholm was one of the black women who started promoting that feminism in black society. She's non-FBA. So we can point to some of the immigrant folks coming in, getting on that wave.
But you know what they call it now is intersectionalism.
Oh,
where,
yeah.
I would think that the average black feminist out there would tell you that they're being pro-black and anti-racist is exactly the same as their feminism, that it's all just one big blob of oppression.
Right, and they understand. We know as foundational black Americans, there is no female privilege because black men and black women are still both under the system and the subjugation of white supremacists. We got Breonna Taylor. There's no feminism that helped her. In fact, the white feminist organizations, they don't speak up for the Breonna Taylors.
I agree.
And the Sandra Blands and
1,000%.
so many other black women who are harmed by these race soldiers. The white feminists don't say a damn thing about that. We understand that there is no feminism or no feminine privilege. All of them are practicing white supremacy against us.
Here, so I believe that there was never feminist like privilege, right, in terms of black people. But I don't believe, bro, like you can just like toss that feminism shit on the non-FBA sisters.
A lot of them. Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Oh man, yo, here, right? So okay, so first off, I want to get to Hidden Colors, man.
Yes.
So first off, I do applaud you, right?
Have you seen all of them?
No, I
Man,
seen.
come on.
I seen probably up to 3, right?
Okay.
I think the last one I saw, Brother Polite was in there.
Was that's either 5? I think that's probably 5.
5, right?
Yeah.
Right, yeah. So first off, I want to applaud you, man, because that was the first instance where I saw a brother get the bag and actually did what he was gonna do with the bag.
Of course.
Right. So first off, like, what motivated you to say, yo, like, we need this Hidden Colors?
Yeah, I started doing the Hidden Colors at 2010.
Yeah.
Remember, at that time, 2008, 2009, 2010, look at the movies that we had. We had The Blind Side, we had Precious, The Help, The Butler, and everybody in the black community was like, damn, this stuff was wearing us the hell down. Everybody was like, man, we need something that shows us in a positive light. All of these movies are showing us in a subservient position here. And I said, well, hell, ain't nobody gonna do it for us. Let me get the money together and do it. I said, I wanna do a documentary talking about untold black history. At first, it was just going to be me. I was just going to do it where I'm talking about it. I said, let me step it up. Let me get some of the people that I've learned from. Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, Shahrazad Ali, James Small, Brother Kaba. So we got all of these people. We did the film. We didn't know how it was going to turn out. We put it out, became a huge seller. The series is the biggest selling black history documentary series ever in history. Yeah, the white media don't like to give me credit for that. They always leave that out. They always refer to me as a race beta, but tell about the success of the films. If you don't call me that.
But have you noticed that I feel like the media has every reason to heap praise upon somebody like you who's out here making content like that, but because you differ from them on a few other political points, you become persona non grata, and they can't really act like you are a shining example of black art or whatever.
Exactly, because there are no white heroes in my films. That's the thing. See, they'll give a black person props on a black project. You gotta squeeze in a white hero, though. Just like with Django, black film, so to speak, but there was a white hero in the movie. The movie 12 Years a Slave, true story, black director, he was from the UK though. If you look at that movie, they slipped in Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt was the hero. He got a letter to the North for Solomon so that he can get his freedom. So they snuck in a white hero. A lot of folks didn't catch that little slick shit they did. Yeah. You always got to have a white hero. The movie The Help. These black women who are maids, and it was the good, benevolent white women who said, okay, I'm gonna let you work on weekends. I'm not gonna work you so hard. I'm gonna treat you with dignity. Oh, thank you. You is kind. You is beautiful. All that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? We gotta be groveling and grateful to white people being nice to us.
Thank you, Massa.
Yeah. That's sick, dude. So my movies are anti that.
Of course.
In my movies, I show white supremacists getting killed and what happened in history. And they don't like to really promote that in the dominant society.
Now, like, do you ever regret though, like putting like certain figures in like Hidden Colors? Because like most of these guys would get some success that they turn on you, or
sometimes.
Yeah. Or like guys like Brother Polite, who's currently facing some real serious charges. Like, do you ever say, you know what, like, there was an error back then, or like, do you?
It wasn't an error because he wasn't facing charges when we had him in there. So if I've worked with dozens of people. So if they do something later on down the line, I have no control of that. Even if I have a beef with them, I don't regret having them in the film because I saw something in their content that I thought the community needed. Personal beefs, I don't trip on that. I'm not a petty nigga, man. That shit doesn't bother me at all. like Umar, me and Umar, we have our little personal things. Yeah. Umar's a brilliant nigga. That nigga's brilliant, man. Smart. I love the message that he gives out there. I think he has a lot of genuine love and respect for the community. I always rock with that. I get on code with that. So personal beefs ain't nothing. That's just what it is.
No, so like you and Umar kind of differ. So like explain to the people. So Umar Johnson is a Pan-African. You are FBA.
FBA.
So explain why you're not a Pan-African and like what's the difference between that?
Now, for a long time, I was promoting Pan-Africanism. This whole thing is us as a whole global black family getting together and building something. Unfortunately, it's been too one-sided. The African diaspora has not reciprocated. And now a lot of the onus is on us and a lot of the weight is on us and it's bogging us down. We can't have a one-sided coalition. We're asking other people from the diaspora, how come you are not reaching out, building a coalition over there? How come everybody just has to come over here and just kind of eat off of us? I've been to Africa begging for dual citizenship in certain countries and nobody's really biting, even in the Caribbean. Hey man, why don't y'all have some dual citizenship for us? Nobody's biting. So there's not too much of an effort from the diaspora, and that's why a lot of us over here are like, okay, well, if y'all like that, we'll do us for right now.
Well, here, so, speaking of effort, again, like there can't be like more effort, right?
Right.
Now, when the George Floyd thing happened, I will give credit though to like some African countries. I know in Liberia, they did march and protest for a couple of days for George Floyd, right? So, there is like protests going on, and I believe, again, don't quote me on this, but during like the whole like George Floyd thing, a few African countries, I believe, like came to like the EU or somebody, right? No, or UN, right? And says, yo, like what's going on here, right? So there were some like inquiry, and then African countries, no, they got to do
more than that. That's some bullshit. You going out here, we done sat up here and got our heads bashed in for you to come over here to get resources, and y'all come over here and get visas, and you get schooling that we didn't fought for. You better do more than hold up a fucking sign. You better say, hey man, let's offer dual citizenship in case y'all want to dip for a few months or whatever. You come over here and be safe, and if you want to go back, cool. That would be cool. We'll offer a little section of land for you guys over here so we can build together.
For Ghana got that now though, right? Like
not really. They don't have that over there.
No. I believe Ghana is offering like citizenships now,
No, they got a right to abode. It's not citizenship, and there's so much red tape with it. And also, you got to have a bag. In order for us to get some citizenship over there, we got to come through with $50,000, $100,000. We got to go in there with a bag, and then we got to show them all of our bank statements and all of the savings and all of the investments we have. So we got to go in there with cash in hand. So that's not a reciprocal relationship.
Yeah. Now, like there's some people who would say, yo, and he was once preaching the Pan-African shit at FBA. Now, I've always said, yo, listen, like me 5 years ago is a whole different person now, right? So I definitely have like different opinions now.
Yeah, I can do that. Shit, last week I ate Chipotle. Right now, I don't like Chipotle right now. I don't feel like it. So yeah, I don't feel like it. I changed my appetite this week.
No, definitely. Here, so what year did you like make the change?
No. Let's be very clear. I still rock with African folks. Let's be very clear. But right now, we're just focusing on foundational black Americans and what we need to get as far as tangibles. That's what we're focusing on now. Now, there's cases in the UK. I was rallying for a young brother who got killed up there. I was putting my bid in for that. I'm always speaking up for any injustice that anybody's having. The stuff that was going on in the Ukraine, that wasn't cool. I spoke out against that type of stuff. So I'm going to make sure that people are cool, but we're going to focus on foundational black Americans.
I have a name I want to throw out there and just get your thoughts on him. Shaun King.
Shaun King and I are very cool. We're cool. Yeah, we
Is he black?
Yeah, he's black.
He's
black.
been so attacked by his own people.
Nah, man, that Negro ain't black, man.
He's black because white people don't like him. That's how you can tell he's not black. You know why? White people, and I talked to Shaun about this before. White people or a black person who can pass for white people look at them as very dangerous because they can sneak in black genes into white society undetected. So white society is very sensitive about black people who can pass for white. That's why they had all of those one-drop laws. They're like, hey, look, any nigga with any drop of blood, don't come over here. Because we don't want you to sneak that one drop in. That's why they have a lot of problems with the Hispanic community. Because they need white numbers, but the Hispanic society, understand, many Hispanic countries around the Western Hemisphere, they were also slave colonies. So there were African people there. So a lot of them have that black bloodline. And so they don't want them sneaking that black bloodline into white society. It's a real interesting dynamic.
Nah, but okay, so with Shaun King, in his story is, he said he don't know his birth father, but his mama told him that he was black, but the man who was on his birth certificate was a white man.
Right.
Now, if he can't give us the lineage, the name of who the black father is, and the only person who's on his birth certificate is a white man, how can we take his word? Sorry, how can we take his mama's word for it that he's white? That he's black. Now that's where people say, yo, bro, like, how can we really count Shaun King as a black man when, one, he looks white, his mama is white, the man on his birth certificate is white, and then he's telling me his mama told him that his birth father was black, and we just gonna take that as...
Can he hit the 23andMe?
As proof.
Right. Well, y'all can holler at him about that. Y'all can holler at him about that. I don't, I'm not, I don't work for Ancestry.com. Come on, Flakko.
Yeah. No, right?
Do I got to go to IKEA? IKEA is like a block or two up. Man. I get you a new chair. But Shaun King, he does a lot of good stuff for the community. So he is a writer. So I'm going to give him that. Shaun King does a lot of good stuff for the community, gets a lot of good information out there, and he fights for justice.
Of course. Now, again, that's the one thing I will give him, right?
Yeah.
He's persistent, and he's for black folks.
Yes.
But Rachel Dolezal was also for black folks, right?
Oh, she was for herself. No, she didn't really do anything. She was using that to get all types of minority set-asides for her damn self. So, yeah, that's different. Yeah.
I have a question in terms of your advice for me. I'm a person, I kind of... It might be hard to believe it, but I sort of accidentally fell ass backwards into interviewing rappers, and then wasn't really that big of a plan for me to basically bring a lot of other different people on my platform. And now I find myself I don't think ever hired a white guy to be an on-camera personality, but I've found a lot of different black guys like Flakko here, and I'm putting them out there and helping them grow their platforms and everything like that. As of yet, seems like the black community maybe is tolerating my involvement in the community. What is your perspective on this business model, and what would you suggest that I keep in mind in terms of staying in the good graces of the community?
What you should do, and it's good that you're giving black people a platform, always make sure you balance the ratchetness out with constructive information, because what happens is a lot of people who are white, they'll give a platform to all the riffraff shit that happens in the community, and then that goes to hell. That turns into World Star. You know what I'm saying? And Q, who started World Star, is non-FBA dude. So always point that stuff out. So balance it out. Always have some balance with people who's bringing something constructive. I know people like to get hits, people like to get ratings. The beefs and all of that stuff gets a lot of clicks, but we can't go into white society showing a bunch of white hillbillies living in the Appalachian Mountains. I would get called out for doing that. If I go to a bunch of trailer parks showing these methed out white people, people will call me out for doing that, because what would be the purpose of that?
Right.
You see, we can't just keep showing the underbelly.
And it's almost impossible to even imagine you having that sort of interest, whereas we all are just very, very used to the idea that white people want to look at World Star, they want to look at Shade Room, they want to look at all this bullshit going on between black people, right?
Right. And the thing is, almost every single gossip site, Shade Room, Bossip, Madame Noir, World Star, are all owned by non-FBA people, every single one of them. Even TV shows like Love and Hip Hop, that's Mona Scott, she's Haitian. They come over here from other places and show the underbelly of black society, which makes us look bad to a certain degree. I can't go to Haiti and show the underbelly and be accepted by that society. In fact, I did a movie called 1804 about the history of Haiti. It's shown in schools all over Haiti.
I seen it.
You dig? I'm going to show respect to the people over there. I don't want to show you in a negative light. What does that do for me? So we want people to have the same respect for us. Don't come over here and start showing crackheads pissing on cars. What's the purpose of doing that? I'm not going to go to Africa and start showing the underbelly of it, because what's the agenda of me doing that?
Well, here at Tariq though, but again, it's media, right? So it's a give or take. For example, I know the Shade Room, they promote a lot of FBA in a positive light, but they also have to.
Yeah.
No, man. Listen, there's a bunch of positive light, for less of the rappers and the females, et cetera, right? So they definitely do the positive as well as the negative, right? So if they're non-FBA, should they just not cover the down shit at all?
Okay. I started noticing that these people were non-FBA, people like Media Takeout, that guy's Ugandan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's from Uganda,
wow.
yeah.
Now, he's a fraud. He lies a lot.
Yeah, yes, he does. He says anything.
Yeah.
But I started to notice something on Shade Room and all of these people. This is why I started looking into their backgrounds. They would always show all this ratchet stuff with black society, but then they will show an African wedding. You know, then they would show an African person getting a scholarship. I'm like, why are all the stories about Africa positive and everything about us is crackhead, gang member crackhead? Then I start looking at the people. Okay, these people are non-FBA. They come from another place where they're not going to dare show the negative images of what goes on in their homeland. Adam earlier was talking about Cape Town. I went to Cape Town, and I just had my camera out filming, and I put it on YouTube years ago, and a lot of people from over there were upset that I was showing what it really looked like. I wasn't doing it to be vitriolic. I was just showing where I was. And they were like, oh, why are you showing this? They don't like that at all. And we are not liking that either because that doesn't represent us.
But look, you got Bossip, Hollywood Unlocked.
Nigerian owned, Hollywood Unlocked. That's Jason. That's it. Yeah.
No. So Bossip is owned by a black woman. Like she's like a and she was an ex like Love and Hip Hop girl. She's like a light skin.
Bossip? No.
Right?
No. Bossip been around for a long time. It's Nigerian owned Bossip, I think. Yeah. And Madame Noir and that's a Nigerian dude.
Right? Okay, look.
Who owns that spiritual word?
Yeah. Or look, Say Cheese is a black man. Hollywood Unlocked, right? Right. So there are FBA sites who are doing the exact same thing.
Come
like them.
No, man.
Yo, Hollywood Unlocked is worse.
No. Jason is somewhat fair to a certain degree. Jason is fair. I give him his. Jason is pretty fair.
You're a messy nigga, boy.
Yeah, he's a queen. He's a queen. You know, but Jason is actually fair. I give him his credit. He seems fair to a certain degree.
Wait. So you're saying like the Shade Room is worse than Hollywood Unlocked? I don't see that, man.
Yeah, Shade Room shows a lot of ratchet shit.
Oh, how about this though? The Neighborhood Talk. Now that's the underbelly. Like
who runs Neighborhood? Because I don't see.
It's a gay black man. Like he's right.
And that's another thing. A lot of people, again, a lot of black LGBT people, they look at themselves as something different from black society. They think that their sexuality is its own ethnic group to a certain degree. So that's another dynamic as well.
Here, so crazy thing about this, right? So why is the first thing when they like try to like discredit you, they go directly to the bullshit gay rumors? Because
nobody says that.
I mean, Michi. Well, yeah, yeah. I don't want to give them credit, but yeah, you feel me?
That's a clown. That's a person just saying anything. Nobody has ever said that. And not seriously, just somebody trolling.
Of course.
Nobody knows. Come on, they know that. They know, and they damn sure wouldn't say no shit like that to my face.
Yeah, so you got
people,
kids like that. You know?
People trolling. That's none. They're just saying shit just to be saying it. But yeah, nobody ever says that at all.
Yeah.
You know?
Now here's a question for you. So when I first, like one of the first like instances that I seen you like on like the mainstream like podcasting, was on the Brilliant Idiots. Yeah, right. And you was there kind of like having a conversation because I believe you put Andrew Schultz on the white supremacist website.
Yeah, one of our people put him on the white supremacist. We had a suspected word. It didn't even say white, but we had a lot of races on there. And this was after I did Brilliant Idiots. This was way after.
Okay.
Way after.
Okay, gotcha.
So he kind of earned that status in your mind on the podcast?
Yeah. Well, it was a free site where people can put stuff up, and somebody put him. I didn't put him on there, but somebody put him on there. But I had a debate with him on the Brilliant Idiots podcast. A great debate, and debunked a lot of his talking points. So,
wait, was it free or here? Right, again, like there's been a lot of rumors about that site, right? Because like it's now taken down, but there was a point where people were saying like it was like a subscription based.
No, not at all. No. It was just like a message board where people can kind of put up information about certain folks.
Now, I think Andrew Schultz like says like some shit like you were offering but the opportunity for like people to pay to get taken off, or no, that's not true.
No, when he said that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's bullshit. No, I don't know where that came from. No, that's not true at all. Yeah, that's not true.
Nah, man. So I do have to ask you this, right? Because a lot of people would be wondering, will Umar Johnson ever get that school up, man?
I think he will. And the people, because I donated to the school a long time ago. So I hope he gets it up. Yeah, I hope he gets it up. I really hope he gets that school up. He's done he's been trying to get it for a long time, and hopefully he gets it popping.
Yeah, and also too, like I convinced Adam to make a donation to the school.
Well, in exchange for the interview, right?
Right.
No, but okay. Do you feel like Umar has been evasive about updating people on the school?
I will say this now. So the fundraising started, I believe, in 2014. He finally raised enough. Now, again, like folks are saying, and he raised enough. Again, if you're raising money, and he probably had enough in 2019. He bought the school 2019,
you
right?
You gotta ask him.
Ask
him. Yeah, I don't pocket watch dudes like that.
Yeah, right. So for me, right?
Yeah. I don't pocket watch.
Yeah, right.
Dudes.
So for me, and he, like bought the school in 2019. It's been 3 years. Now, there's a lot of difficulties that come with that, right?
Yeah, I would assume.
It's with like the taxes, the HVAC, right? So it's been 3 years. Now, if 10 years go by and it's still not up, I'll have to say, I don't know, man. You feel me? What's going on?
Hey, you holler at him, man. Holler at him about it. Again, I don't be pocket watching dudes that hard, but go ahead.
Now, the coons, right? The fucking coons. Now, again, here's what here, right? So Tariq like raised money in the past, did everything with it. Like the Haiti movie was a fundraiser. The Hidden Colors was a fundraiser, right? Yeah. But the FBA conventions were fundraisers. So you have a history of raising money and getting shit done with it.
Absolutely.
Now, it's been a fucking year since you raised money for, like 9 months, right? For the museum. Why the fuck are the coons impatient?
Oh, look, they're trolling. Look, and I said this.
Yeah.
When we get the museum, which is we're working on the documents now, it takes a minute to get buildings and and there's tenants in the building and we got to negotiate with them and all of that stuff to get them out. When we get the museum, you're going to see a whole new set of whining and excuses. They're going to complain, ain't enough bathrooms.
Ain't big enough.
There's no food. I don't like the books in here. Oh, it's too cold in here. So it's going to be a whole set of new excuses because the excuses are already in bad faith. It's just bad faith.
Yeah, because it's been months.
Yeah, it's
not
that
even
long.
years.
Right,
you
right.
feel me?
And these are people who don't know about real estate. They don't know business. They don't know that it takes a minute to negotiate and deal with tenants and deal with realtors and deal with finance people. You got a whole bunch of people you're dealing with.
Yeah. Now, question for you, right? So there's an election coming up soon. Now, if let's say Biden and let's say Trump, like go at it again.
Yeah.
Now,
They're never going to run Biden.
Oh,
And
no.
Trump, very much, yeah, he could definitely run.
Yeah.
Now, after we seen, I'm talking about, bro, like Biden kids is out here like doing coke and shit now. Like,
Picture what Biden's going to look like in 4 years.
Yeah,
man.
He's going to be on a
man?
stretcher being wheeled out into those debates, bro. I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
Where do we go, Tariq? Because at this point, it's a fucking laughing stock with Biden kids and Biden. And Trump to me is,
The Democrats, man, I think they're done right now, man. The Democrats are going to fall flat, man. They're going to get washed because they don't have a base right now. Democrats don't have a base. They're trying to cobble together like an immigration base. But what happens
School
is,
shootings as well. Yeah.
When immigrants come over, they start voting for Trump. Especially Hispanics. They start going for the right wing.
Especially last election, bro. I was shocked when the Hispanics like voted for Trump in those numbers. I was like, what?
Especially given that it was such a common theme in the news and everything that this man hates Mexicans. He said that Mexicans are rapists, etc., which was really a pretty inaccurate reading of what Trump did say in that moment, which is like him basically saying some of the people who are coming over here are criminals and murderers and rapists.
But the thing is, that plays on something that a lot of people don't realize. A lot of Hispanics, they identify as white. People forget that. They don't identify as brown. There is no brown. When people say black and brown, the brown is a boogeyman. There is no brown person. Hispanics identify as white. When you look at their paperwork, they document themselves as white. They have something in Hispanic culture, mejorar la raza, meaning improve the race, meaning get white. So they're real big on maintaining a white status. And when they come over here, they find the first right-wing racist white supremacists to go hug up on and be around.
Yo, but then if they're obviously, again, like most will come here and take a stance in an agenda that's anti-black, but yet again they're being grouped in as black and brown.
Right.
Why is that?
We do that stupid shit as black people. We allow it to happen. And I tell black folks all the time, and I got Hispanic people that I'm hella cool with, no problem with them on a personal level. But when we're talking about politics, we're playing as a group. And I tell black people, stop that black and brown shit, because we got this thing where we feel like we got to have some mythological ally in order to get stuff done, and that's not the case. When Hispanics get stuff done, they don't do black and brown. It's like Hispanics, what are we getting? Nobody shares anything with us, but we got this whole thing where we got to carry everybody with us to have some kind of minority coalition that's just not there.
Definitely, man. Now, like, what's your take on like the N-word? Now, there was like a viral video recently where Roddy Rich was performing, and his song, it was like "She Suck a Negro Soul." It was a crowd full of white. I'm talking about the
Screaming
pillest
it back
motherfuckers
at
you
them,
ever
yeah.
see, Tariq. Screaming with just a oomph.
Almost any rap show I've been to in my life has this to a degree.
Yeah, man. So,
yeah.
what's your take on that word? And should white folks be able to sing it at concerts?
Well, yeah, that's why, they like rappers like that so that they can go sing that. White people love saying the N-word. They love it. They hate to get around us and have to use the term N-word. They like to say it because that tramples on their freedom. To be white means in America, you're supposed to be able to do whatever you want to do. Mm-hmm. And when you're told you can't say the word nigga, it's like, damn it, you're trampling on my freedom.
Yeah.
They feel like that. And the thing about the N-word, they'll say, well, y'all say it. You say N-word. How come I can't say it?
Of course.
Well, the N-word has a definition. It means victim of white supremacy. That's all it means.
Yeah.
So if you're calling me a nigga or saying the word nigga, you're admitting that you're victimizing me. So you say it and you let me know where you're coming from.
Not definitely, man. Now, question for you, right? So, I think we was okay, so you were supposed to answer this, but then we got, sidetracked.
Yeah.
But the next up and coming election, what's the plan for Black America? How do we get something out of these motherfuckers? Because Biden ain't give a shit.
So if they don't give us nothing, we're not going to support them. We're not going to support them. We will let the Republicans win without even voting for the Republicans. It's that simple. We're going to be strategically withholding our vote if we're not getting anything out of it.
But those Republicans, though, their agenda is usually anti-Black, right? In terms of the staunch conservatives.
All Americans, but especially Black people, are basically just asked to choose the lesser of two evils every
Exactly.
election,
Yes.
don't you think?
Right. So if we got to go with the lesser of two evils, we got to go with the Republicans, because when we deal with the Republicans, we just have to deal with old school white supremacists. Yeah. So what they'll do, they'll stand across the street and throw darts at you. I can duck some of those darts. Mm-hmm. But with the left-wing white supremacists, they get right up on you. I'm your buddy. And then they slowly put the knife in you while they're telling you they're tickling you. So with the left-wingers, we got to deal with the white supremacists, the anti-Black Asians, the anti-Black Hispanics, the anti-Black LGBT people, and then unfortunately a lot of anti-FBA immigrants coming from Africa and the Caribbean. So we have to deal with a plethora of anti-FBA bigotry from so many left-wing groups.
There's this whole new industry that's basically popped up where you have authors like Robin DiAngelo writing books like White Fragility and stuff, where basically in a lot of corporate environments, white women in particular, but white people in general, are being basically forced to confront the horrors of their whiteness. And to a lot of white people like myself, they look at this and just think, this is the stupidest, most performative bullshit I could ever imagine. This seems like it exists solely to just make these white people feel okay about their people's history. Do you look at that stuff as kind of absurd, or do you think that this is in some way an important step for white people?
That's going into that CRT stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just same as the CRT, which basically means don't talk about white history. Don't talk about what we're doing socially. What happens is you have white people on the jobs who will go in here and they'll start mouthing some of that Fox News stuff, and Black people run down to HR like, oh my God, this person is making me uncomfortable. And then these white people are getting reprimanded. They don't like that. And in schools, if you tell the truth about some of these people that they're teaching us, they're like, well, that's critical race theory. How's it critical race theory? And I'm just telling the truth about this guy who you're teaching me about. He was a white supremacist, So they're saying you can't make the white kids feel uncomfortable. You dig?
Yeah. So
it gets into a bunch of I'm white and I say so stuff.
Yeah. Now, so what's your take on the critical race theory? Now, do you feel like, I'm not even sure why it became a thing, right? Because I just assumed we were just all taught slavery in high school, middle school, and elementary. How did it become a thing?
Regardless of what you think of it, it's a very, very effective right-wing boogeyman.
It is. That's all it is.
Yes.
The right-wingers have to have boogeymen. Black people have to be the boogeyman, but they have to word it in a way so it's not racial. So they use a lot of code words that are stand-ins for race. They used to do that starting in the 60s. See, before the 60s, they would just say, hey, we don't want niggas going to school here. They just be straight up and down. We don't want niggas on this bus. After the Civil Rights Act, they had to reword it. Atwater talked about this. They couldn't say nigga, nigga, nigga. They had to say forced busing, forced housing, welfare. They would use terms like communist about Dr. King. Then going back into the 70s, they would use the term welfare. Then they started using thugs and crack dealers and criminals. These are all code words for black people.
Of course.
Now with critical race theory and woke, that's black folks. Even the term Black Lives Matter, they would always say, well, Black Lives Matter, they're a bunch of terrorists. Black Lives Matter is a code word. There's no real organization called Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter is a bunch of white liberals who put some black figureheads in the front to collect money for white liberals. There is no Black Lives Matter organization unless you're talking about the 3 lesbian women who are working for the white Democrats.
Oh, wait. So do you think that George Soros is sponsoring Black
Yeah,
Lives
of
Matter?
course. Him and other white left-wingers, they fund these so-called black grassroots organizations. That's not grassroots at all. So they'll have a black person go out here and campaign about the death of a black person, and then all of a sudden, hey, Mike Brown, oh, it's horrible what happened to Mike Brown, and black trans lives matter too. Then they start shifting into a sexual thing, and then they'll say, well, immigration matters too. So they'll start talking about all these other things besides the black person who got killed.
Now, do you think that an LGBTQ figurehead could ever be a leader of a black movement and still keep the black interest pure without involving, the other shit?
Yeah, we got to get him on the grassroots. Though there's a brother now out of South Carolina, a brother named Marcel Dixon. He was running for office out there, and a lot of us on the grassroots supported that brother because he's a rider. He talks about black issues, immigration, reparations, and he doesn't really promote an LGBT agenda. He can't really be co-opted by the dominant society. So we do have it. We had James Baldwin. James Baldwin was a rider. He was LGBT in the 1960s. That brother was real true to the game about helping black society and not push an alternative agenda. So we do have some brothers and sisters who are on code, who have alternative lifestyles or whatever they have. And that's all we ask for anybody. If you black and if you want to have us support you, just be about the codification of having us empowered as a group.
Now, why did Candace Owens block you?
Oh, she blocked me for years because I would always call out her mammying and bedwenching and cooning. So yeah, she's blocked me years ago. So she hates my guts because and I was one of the first people calling her out, being connected to those white right-wing think tanks to spew all of that anti-black venom.
Yo, so when did, I guess, the white people start using, these coons as weapons?
They've been doing that since slavery. They had something called meritorious manumission where they would actually give certain black people freedom if you go find another runaway slave. Or if you told on a black person who was doing something, you would get all types of benefits and freedom. They've always been doing that. When John Brown had his raid, there was a black slave who was a coon who actually told where John Brown was, and they gave him a plaque, and I think they gave him freedom, and they still honor him to this day.
Oh,
I forgot what the dude's name is. But it was a coon who told on John Brown, and they still honor him.
Let me ask you this question. I've been in a relationship with an Armenian woman for 6 years. Hypothetically, if I had been in a relationship with a black woman for the last 6 years, when you spoke to me or in terms of how you thought of me, how would you think of that? Would you blame me or would you blame her? And to where's the status level of this offense? Is it deeply upsetting to you, or is it just something that you kind of mildly don't approve of?
No. It's not that I don't approve of it. It's just the action of the relationship. How is the relationship dynamic? Because what happens is a lot of times when black men and black women, because you have brothers who will date white women and they start talking real coonish too. How are you as a black person acting with your white significant other? And what happens is we have folks like Candace Owens who has a white significant other, many of them, and her views against black people are that of a white supremacist. George Lucas, who did Star Wars, his lady is black.
Right.
She makes him do black movies. She got him to do Red Tails and all that. So I got respect for her.
Right.
She's not a bedwench or a mammy or a coon. Those type of relationships I have no problem with. There are black women who are dating white men and these women still understand their blackness. There's brothers who are with white women and they understand their blackness. But if you get with white people and you start trying to mimic the ideologies of white supremacists, that puts you in the coon category.
We recently were on this podcast, we were having a conversation basically as third parties about how crazy it is that there is this sexual fetish where black guys like to be called the N-word and basically treated poorly by white women in the bedroom. And then our friend King Croc wanders over, grabs the mic, and basically just acknowledges that he thinks it's hot and that this is not crazy to him. What do you think of guys who indulge in that fetish?
Yeah, that's something. I don't know dudes like that.
That's out.
Yeah, that's some real weird.
That's out.
That's some real weird and corny, and that's like slave play stuff. There's a whole kink thing. They did a play about it called Slave Play. And if you look on Twitter and you look up the hashtag slave play, you see a lot of women getting into it where they like white men to tie them up and write nigger on them and put them in cages. So there's this kind of weird fetish thing that goes on.
Yeah.
And we got to understand, just imagine that person who's being in the slave play fetish, being a person who's a doctor or somebody in a black neighborhood or a person who's in a political position. I wouldn't want that person representing me.
Yo, I want to hear your take on this. The Roe versus Wade thing just happened. Now, I'll give it my opinion on Roe versus Wade.
Yeah.
But what I never wanted it to be was a situation where black folks, us defending Roe versus Wade, starts us defending Planned Parenthood.
Right.
Because we talk about like
Margaret
racist
Sanger.
monuments getting taken down. Planned Parenthood is a racist monument,
Yes,
right?
it
Margaret
is.
Sanger was a incredible racist. So what's your take on Roe versus Wade versus also your take on black folks loving Planned Parenthood?
Right. And I talked about this before with Planned Parenthood, and I don't like it because, again, it was designed to target and to genocide black society.
Of course.
And in some cases, I agree that women should have a right to get an abortion because if you're raped or whatever, certain cases,
Sick.
certain cases. But the way Roe versus Wade got through was because of racism. The woman, Jane Roe, Norma something, I forgot what her real name is, she was going around saying some black men raped her. So that's why white people are like, oh my God, we got to get abortion through because we don't want these white women getting raped by these niggas and having these nigga babies.
Of course.
So that's why it got through. So there's always been this racial element about it. Now, right now, they've blocked it, but that's only temporary. They're going to have it back again. They're not going to have abortion stop for too much longer. But my thing is we need a reset button. We don't need to have all of these black people getting these abortions anyway right now. I'm not trying to police anybody's body, but we should be more careful with the people we lay up with now.
Of course.
I think we should have more decorum about who we get down with. And now knowing that you're going to have a responsibility if you lay up with some dusty nigga who sold you some weed, you're going to think twice about getting knocked up by this person. And dudes too. You can't get out here with these hood rats that you done met at the club and drinking up all your liquor. You're going to have to say, I can't knock this chick up because I'm going to be stuck for 18 years. So now let's have some decorum and clean our shit up for a minute.
Yo, I definitely agree because if you're out here as a female and you're getting back shots at the fucking trap house on the air mattress, and then you get knocked up, then you should probably think about your life.
But think about what that kid's life is going to be like if he's being brought up in the crack house. I mean, this is probably like the number one person that you would want to have an abortion, right?
Hell no. No.
I don't want the kid growing up in the crack house.
I think a bad life is better than no life.
Some of the most thorough people grew up in harsh environments.
Yeah, come on, man.
Our brother Malcolm X kind of had a harsh growing up, So a lot of our people had harsh environments.
I wanted to ask you,
Yeah.
because there's always been like this big debate, right?
Yeah.
On who philosophy was better for black folks. Malcolm X philosophy in terms of coming headstrong. Well, I do know Malcolm kind of changed, towards his later end of his life, right? He kind of got the more peaceful route. But who do you think is more important to black civilization, Malcolm X or Martin Luther King?
I would have to skip over Malcolm and give it to Elijah Muhammad because Malcolm was a student of Elijah Muhammad.
Gotcha.
And Elijah Muhammad ran the most successful black organization really to this day. They've been around long. They've been pretty much successful. They've still been intact. And his program has been the most viable, pertinent organization that we've seen, with black men being respectful, black men being thorough, black people eating right, black people growing their own food, owning businesses. Elijah Muhammad is really a big unsung hero that we don't talk enough about, and white society doesn't want to promote that. You understand? So that's an unsung hero.
Now, speaking of a student of Elijah Muhammad,
the
Honorable Minister Farrakhan.
Yes, indeed.
Why do you think he's being blackballed from all these social media sites, man?
Because the minister tells the truth. He tells a lot of truth out there. So any black person who's telling the truth and they have influence, sometimes they're just going to target them and try to silence their voice. And the minister is pretty much retired right now. You know what I'm saying? And they still feel threatened by his message. They're not threatened when you're lying. Let's be clear. They let them over lie on the internet all day. You done brought up about 4 or 5 liars who just say stuff on the internet. But when you're telling the truth, that's when you start disappearing and they don't let you in. Like me, everybody, I'm banned. I can't go to the UK. They banned me from the UK.
Really?
Yeah.
Just because of Political statements you made on the line?
Yeah, not even political. I just talk about white supremacy.
Wow.
But I have a big audience over there. I have a huge audience in the UK. And they vet you in these countries. If they let you in a country, especially, you know, coming from Africa somewhere, they don't want some of the radicals coming over. I've been to Africa. You got some brothers and sisters who are riders over there. They're not letting them over. They told me. They're like, hey, Tariq, they only let over the coons. They let the coons over. And it's the same way in Western countries. If there's a black person who's considered radical, they just won't let your ass in there. Forget about living there. They don't even let me visit there. They said, if I go to the UK, I'm going to get arrested. They're going to detain me in the whole 9 yards. So,
wow.
Yeah, I cannot go to the UK. I got to get a lawyer. I've been banned for about 5 years. So I'm going to try to get a lawyer so I can get that ban lifted, because even when I travel a lot in Europe, and they told me I can't even have a layover over there. And most flights stop in London and go somewhere else. And whenever I travel, I got to go all through Russia, and I got to be like Indiana fucking Jones getting back home.
They don't even let Tyler, the Creator, go to Australia just because he said fags in some songs like 10 years ago.
Yeah. Some of these countries are real funny style like that.
Yo, so there's a viral thing currently going on where a bunch of black folks marched to the lady who, like who dog whistled and said that like Emmett Till, like whistled at her and tried to fuck her, all type of shit. So what do you think should happen to her now that we know who she is? Well, she's been out here, but yeah, what do you think should happen to her now?
There should still be more pressure to get her arrested, because if we're dragging Bill Cosby in and out of court for some shit for 60 and 70 years ago, bring her ass in court too. They just brought a damn Nazi soldier who's 101 years old. They just took him into court and then gave him 5 years in his wheelchair. You understand? If you're putting them in jail for stuff they did in the 40s, put her in jail too. That was a crime, and they found the arrest warrant. They never served her the warrant. So they get on this white supremacist code with these people, and we're going to say, no, you're going to practice equal protection and equal justice under the law. We're not going to have racial incentivizations for you to protect this person, and you're going to throw the book at every black person out here.
Of course, man. Listen, I definitely agree. Now, in terms of defund the police, one, do you believe in defund the police? And two, what are the best police reforms that could happen, that could protect us more?
There's only one reform. You have to put these people in jail for a long time when they kill unarmed black people the way they're doing. If you do that, that will stop it overnight. Put 2 or 3 of them in jail for life. That will stop all of these unjust killings. They just shot that brother out there in Ohio 60 times. There's absolutely no justification for that. They do it because you have a lot of white supremacist groups in law enforcement, and they incentivize each other to do these racialized killings, and we have to stop that.
But do you have any hope when you see something like the George Floyd situation and a lot of those cops getting 20 years or whatever? Do you think that's an important change, or is it just window dressing?
Yeah, no, but them going to jail, period, because they didn't want to put them in jail anyway, so them going to jail at all, that's a start, and we just need to keep that momentum going.
Yo, you know who I was really upset at? Again, speaking of non-FBA.
Yeah.
It's the Botham Jean?
Botham Jean.
His family.
Yeah, all that damn hugging.
Shucking and jiving, bug dancing for that court, bro.
Yeah.
Hugged that white lady, told her they forgave her.
Yeah.
And now she turned around and filed an appeal to get out of jail.
Yeah. And I had some personal conversations with those lawyers, because I know them, and I was like, hey, man, that type of stuff y'all doing with your clients, y'all better cut that bullshit out, because we out here banging on these cops and these prosecutors, and I'm calling and cursing these folks out, and we're bailing folks out of jail, and we out here doing some real street work, grassroots work on the ground, and don't have us do all of that, and y'all out here hugging and kissing these damn people. That makes the whole movement look bad. So we had to check them on that, and they kind of chilled out with all of that hugging and forgiveness talk. And that stuff is done so that they can get settlement money. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
They go out here, and we out here riling up stuff in the streets and making a lot of noise. And these lawyers who come in here, who are basically ambulance chasers, they say, oh, look at how this person was harmed. This is horrible. This is so horrible. Then we go out here, ride out, and then a week later, the relative that they done dug up somewhere has a new weave and lace front and some new clothes, and everybody go home. Don't be fighting out here now. And then it's forgiveness time.
Of course.
So I'm like, whoa.
But
and then we hear about a settlement check. They about to get $2 million. Oh, okay. No, we ain't doing that.
But it's a lot of like religious people too, where I feel like religious people just have this thing in their head that forgiveness is good. So no matter what atrocity happens to me, I want to forgive the person because it will make me personally feel better.
The white media will coax them into saying that, The white media does that. They did that to me before. They'll get them and they'll say, well, how do you feel about this murder? Yeah, it was so horrible. You're religious, right? You look like a God-fearing woman. I sure am. Would you forgive the person? Would Jesus do it? Well, I guess I would have to give. They do that type of shit.
Yeah.
My house got swatted some years ago by some white supremacists. They swatted my house. Yeah, they swatted my house. They tried to get me killed.
Yeah.
So the cops came and the whole media was out. They had helicopters and shit. And then the media was asking me questions. Well, do you forgive the police? No, no, what are you talking about? No, I don't forgive anybody. I don't want my house to get swatted. So I see how they try to steer you into a certain direction with the conversation.
So speaking of ambulance chasers, what's your take on Benjamin Crump and Al Sharpton?
Yeah, Benjamin Crump, I've had issues with Ben Crump because, again, with all of that forgiveness talk, and that ends up throwing a lot of the cases. Because when you get out here and the people are talking about forgiveness, when they go to a grand jury or a trial, the jury's like, well, hell, Crump and those guys just forgave everybody, so hell, let's forgive him too and not charge him. That messes the cases up when they do that. They have to stop that, and I've hollered at them repeatedly telling them they got to stop that stuff. Now, Sharpton is a shield for the Democrats. Yeah. His job is to basically regurgitate a lot of the stuff that the Democrats want, black society want to hear. And what they do, they keep Al Sharpton out of jail. They got all types of stuff on Sharpton from back in the day. So they say, hey, look, you do what we tell you to do, or we're going to start flipping on you. So, Sharpton is pretty much a puppet of the Democrats.
Yo, I'll give this right? Yo, Benjamin Crump, bruh, that Negro is on it though, bro. He's on everything, man.
Yeah.
Yo, bro, if a black girl even gets grazed by a car in East Bubblefuck, bro, he is on it looking for a settlement, man.
Yeah. He goes in there pro bono. I'm Ben Crump. I'm not gonna charge you. I'm gonna have to get about 40-50% of that settlement. You did
that $5 million settlement.
Oh yeah. He's gonna get his bag. So he's gonna go in there and represent. But we got to have justice, though. This ain't a money thing. We got to get some justice out here.
Of course, but now, again, I hate to bring up, with the coons and trolls, right? But they will say, Flakko, you pussy, acts right. Now, I personally don't care, but they were saying that the FBA, that the Foundation Black American trademark got abandoned, open floor,
It's not abandoned.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not abandoned. We still got the FBA trademark, and it's for clothes. So you can't
Gotcha.
Because you can't trademark a lineage. You can't say this lineage. You can't trademark Puerto Rican as a lineage. So we have different products, and we have different events under the name FBA. So there's different ways you can trademark it. You have to trademark different things. So we got that trademarked, and we had some trolls trying to do some performative things where they're going to trademark a part of it like that. It's just trolling, dude.
Yeah, because I never quite understood what was the point. Because when I seen 20 videos of it's abandoned. Okay, so again, let's assume it is abandoned.
Right.
How does that take away from the movement?
Nothing. It's nothing. It's just something to get YouTube clicks. Because no matter what you do, you cannot trademark a lineage.
Of course.
You dig? You can trademark certain products. So we use the term FBA for certain events and certain products that we sell. But if somebody wanted to trademark it for something else, they could. That's not going to stop the movement because it's a lineage.
I have plenty of trademarks, but somebody could easily use that exact same name in a different product category, and it would be basically out of my hands.
Absolutely. Yeah, a lot of folks don't know trademarks, so you hear somebody on the internet bragging about, I did this with the trademark, and you don't know. It's like, oh, damn. It's nothing. It's just trolling.
Of course. Wait, so what issues did you have with Just Hilarious in the past?
I never had no issue with Just Hilarious.
So...
That was Corey Holcomb, I think.
No, so I think I seen something where after she got a record deal, right? No, sorry. Got a movie deal or something like that, right? So she said some shit about how F Black dollars or some shit like that. And I think you did a tiny rebuttal to her, said, that's corny about blah mammy stuff, but
I really don't remember. I don't think I did that.
Oh no!
If somebody can pull that up, I don't remember doing that. And I like Just Hilarious, so I don't remember ever dissing that system.
Man. Yeah. Oh, also too, now it's on camera that you saved the life of one of our brothers.
Yeah.
Desiigner recently.
Yeah.
Explain that, man. How did you even see that, or what,
Didn't you say I was clout chasing? I saw some shit where you said I was clout chasing.
I'll break it down, right?
Sounds like something you would say.
Here. So I'm saying though, right, that like when you say like I didn't know there was Desiigner,
Right.
I said I don't believe you, Tariq. You feel me? Like that's like
Does he seem like the kind of guy who's paying a lot of attention to Desiigner?
he's tapped in with everything.
But
maybe,
how would I know that? And look, that was next door to my office. I live in Chatsworth. That happened in Chatsworth. It was literally next door to my office, and I was driving by my office, and I saw a bunch of cop cars.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the heck are they doing? Because cops don't really go in my neighborhood like this. It's mostly white. Then I looked and I saw a black dude. He had a hat on, and I had no idea it was Desiigner. Desiigner's record was out half a decade ago.
Right.
He don't even look the same. He had like a beard and hair and a hat.
Yeah.
He don't look the same. I didn't know it was him, but I saw a brother getting hemmed up. I'm like, what the hell are they about to do? And I went over there and I said, hey, you know what's going on? I kind of stepped in because I didn't want them to try to use this brother as an excuse to try to hem him up. And he looked nervous. And I saw he must not have committed a crime because they didn't have him handcuffed. If he committed a crime, he was outside. He was standing there and a bunch of hostile cops around him. So I'm like, they might be looking for a reason to harm this brother. So I'm like, let me go over here and make sure he's good. Out here in LA, man, we kind of have a culture. We're not really afraid of police out here. Not that we're Billy Badass, but we have a culture out here in LA. If you see the cops hemming a person up, you better intervene and you make sure that black person is good.
Did you see Styles P yesterday?
Yes.
Yes.
That was intense.
That was,
And impressive that he was on that.
Yeah, the girl got hemmed up. The police was roughing up a girl, and Styles P came in, and hey, y'all can't do all that.
Of course.
Styles P is a great guy.
He's a real thorough brother. Real thorough dude.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Had there ever like been like a point where like you intervene like here? So I think there was a viral video, and like you like got some flack for it, right? I think like the white boy was looking like he was having a panic attack. He was like being like frustrated at the hotel.
Yeah.
And he was being rude to like a black brother, but he started like the white tears and crying shit like that, right? And folks say, yo, Tariq, this is insensitive. Dude's having a panic attack. So what would be
Yeah, and that whole thing was a bunch of these LGBT think tanks using that, flipping it to try to blow it up into something else.
Yeah.
There was a video that I shared of a black man at a hotel. I want to say Holiday Inn. It was Holiday Inn, and I talked to the black man. They were messing around with his money, and they didn't want to give him his refund. And then the hotel clerk started started smashing his head on shit.
Right.
And I posted that on my thing. All I did was post it. And a lot of people were acting like it was me in the video. They were like, well, Tariq was harassing this man. I'm like, do y'all think all niggas look the same? What are you talking about? That wasn't me in the video. So they just kind of tried to blow it up. And they were doing that right around the time my movie Buck Breaking was coming out. And the white media took it and they tried to use that. Oh, Tariq is a horrible person. And he has this movie out talking about this. And they tried to say the guy in the video was LGBT and all of this stuff. So they made up a whole fake narrative about that thing.
They'll try to smear you as being ableist or insensitive to somebody's mental health, as if you're supposed to know about somebody's fucking mental health diagnosis from seeing a 30-second clip of them on the internet. It's just so bizarre.
Right, but they were trying to say that the guy was LGBT. Who would know that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's even more invasive things that you
would know that.
You could have
know
been
that.
there watching it happen, and you still wouldn't have known that. That's kind of the whole
So that was
nature
all
of
cap.
it, right?
That's what they do. They get certain situations and kind of flip it in order to kind of smear a person at a certain time. And again, I was coming out with a movie at that time, so that was their way to kind of smear me.
Not definitely, man. Now, one last question. Will we ever get a return of the Coon Awards, man?
We are going to get one. The problem is there's so many coons that we would have to have a coon marathon. It would have to be a telethon like Jerry Lewis. It's so many from the right and the left, and we just don't know how to categorize all of them at this point.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Man, yo, listen, like, so like Vlad TV, right? And he has, like recurrent, guests, bro. I would love to have you back, like, again, like multiple interviews, right? Because you definitely, bro, like you definitely need to be heard more.
But you haven't spoke to him since the incident with Tommy?
I have not spoken to Vlad. Have not spoken, and I don't have no problem with Vlad. Vlad, I just thought at that time, hey man, I don't. Vlad has a thing with having somebody on and then having somebody on right after who they're beefing with. And to me, that's corny. I don't like shit like that.
Soldier Boy and his ops as well, he did as well. Now, question for you. So Vlad has some comments against the minister. Now, he, again, to his credit, he did admit that he was wrong because he said that the minister said that Jews should be like stoned, and that wasn't true.
Right. He didn't say that.
He's kind of misinterpreting something he said,
So now, his stance was, I'm not going to apologize to the minister publicly. Do you think he's wrong for that? Like, should he just say, bruh,
He could have apologized, and that's why certain people stopped going on the platform, like Lord Jamar and other people.
Godfrey.
Yeah, Godfrey. Shout out to Godfrey. That's my brother. And they were like, yeah, if you're going to have that stance against the minister, we just ain't going to rock with you. You know, so Vlad has to get it right as far as stuff like that, because if you're going to be out here indulging yourself in black culture, you're going to have to show respect to the icons who black culture respects.
Right. Now, here, so like, do you think it's true? Because, you know, I think even Umar Johnson, like, it has this ideology that when you're doing like a project for black people, it's very important that it's done by black dollars and black dollars only. Is that true, or do you think that there could be some, you know, guys like Adam who donated, you know, a lot of money to BLM, where like, you know, right, like where like they're giving money just to support, and that really should not delude the overall mission?
Now, you can get money from wherever. Who's controlling the direction of the project? That's the only thing that matters. Because if it's George Soros giving you the money, they're going to control the direction of it. That's different. If there's a person like Adam who sees us trying to curate our museum and he says, hey, that's cool, let me give money because I see y'all trying to put a hip-hop section in there. I'm a hip-hop fan, so let me donate. That's cool. I'll take that check, Adam. Write that out to melanoidnation.org, Adam. But we can't let people come in who's outside the community give us the money, and then they say, I'm going to give you $2 million, but we're going to have some LGBT representation, like at the Black History Museum downtown LA. You walk into that museum, there's a big transgender person in there on the poster. It's like, it's not representing black culture. They're intersectionalizing everything because the money is not coming from us. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to start a museum, so that we can curate it the way we needed to curate it.
Of course, man. And do you think that we should have our own party?
We should. I agree with that. So right now we're getting more politically sophisticated, understanding that we are a distinct ethnic group and we have to look out for our ethnic group and get people from the grassroots to represent our ethnic needs.
And shout out to Andrew Yang. One of the best things that could happen to improve our country is if they introduce ranked choice voting for the president, and if we have eventually more than 2 political parties. Those are the 2 biggest things that will get us out of this terrible stalemate that we're currently in right now.
Yes, indeed.
Man, hey, here, Tariq, I appreciate you, man. I do want to say this, man.
Yeah.
Do you want to give a eulogy for Jason Whitlock before we leave?
That big juicy coon. Lord, that dude is ridiculous.
He got the fuck out of here fast.
He was here?
No.
I don't know him.
So they kicked him in like off TV, right?
Oh, they did. I didn't know that.
You remember, right? So and he wanted like a large sum of like money to like renew his contract. The white folks say, "Fuck out of here."
Oh wow!
Yeah, right. So now he's all Fox News and all
with
ESPN.
the Blade. Okay, yeah. Blaze TV. Okay, yeah. I did see that. Okay, yeah. He's a clown, but again, he's a paid shield to regurgitate all the talking points that the white supremacists can't say and denigrate black ball players like Lebron. He has a real bug in his ass about LeBron. And LeBron is like the go-to black person that they attack now. LeBron is a proxy for black society. So if they want to say something negative about us, they'll attack LeBron. So he's a code word now.
But do you agree that LeBron needs to speak up about the atrocities that are taking place against the Uyghur Muslims in China?
Oh, they put everything on LeBron. They're like, LeBron should say something about Brittany Griner out there in Russia. LeBron is not in the politics. That's something that you got to holler at Biden about. Biden needs to trade one of these.
But he heaps praise upon China and the Chinese government.
Here, so what Bron said was this. Now, Bron got on the coach because he's like, yo, listen, like you are speaking out of term, and we got billions invested currently, like China and the NBA.
Okay.
He's like, before you say something publicly, you should at least be more careful with that, right? So
translation, he felt like he could potentially lose money on it.
Yeah, right. Because the coach was the GM of the Houston Rockets.
Okay,
and he was very, I guess, outspoken about like the Henny shit going on in China.
Okay, got it.
And he wanted Bron to speak about it. And what Bron said was, I'm worried about my people. That ain't my business. Right? So do you think that stance is good?
Yeah.
What if he had dropped those bars during the Holocaust? The Jews ain't my people, but I would be worried about him if there was a Holocaust going on right now. Right?
Oh, man.
But see, none of these other athletes who are not black, they're not speaking up for no black folks. They are never forced to speak up for anything that we have, going on. But we're always told as black people, we have to be out here speaking for all of these other groups. How come you're not saying nothing? How come you're not doing anything? Well, we're giving people the same energy they're giving us.
Nah, it's the white savior complex too, though, because like you see a lot of these like white, again, and this is why I rock with conservatives. I just don't rock with the staunch, like backwoods South motherfuckers, right? But you know, I rock with real conservatives like Ben Shapiro, et cetera, right?
You rock with Ben?
Oh Lord.
Listen, listen, right? And here's why.
You rock with Ben Shapiro.
And here's why though. It's because if a motherfucker is honest enough to tell me this is who he is, right? Listen, like we know Ben Shapiro is. He don't fuck with niggas.
Yeah, he's a suspected
That's a
white
pretty
supremacist.
low bar, though.
Right.
Just be
Yeah.
honest with me.
Yeah,
You can
yeah,
hate
that-
me,
that
just
is
be
kinda
honest
low,
with me.
yeah, just-
Nah, if that Trump shit,
that
listen.
sounds like slave play, brother. Like,
now listen, it's that Trump shit. If you tell me, here's the line I draw, I can respect you more than the white savior complex who, again, like go home and they're on some racist shit, but then, like come out like near us and try to play, like they're friends, right? So like, just be honest with me and tell me, this is where I draw the line so I can respect that.
I can't rock with it.
Opposed to faking it.
Because Ben justifies every murder of a black person. He mocked Trayvon Martin, who was a child who got killed. So I don't respect anything about Ben Shapiro.
Would you rather kick it with Ben Shapiro or AOC?
Definitely Ben Shapiro. Come on now.
Oh, man, that's a tough one.
Not definitely Ben
Lord.
Shapiro, but
Neither one. I just be by my damn self.
Got him.
Yeah.
Cornered him.
man. Hey, listen up, man, bro. We definitely got to have you back, man.
Man, my pleasure. Anytime.
Hey, listen.
My man.
Listen, I'll hold you to that, man. Anytime, right?
Anytime, man. I'm here.
Yeah,
all right, man.
My man.
A lot of game, and I think the people out there are going to really appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
man.
I appreciate
No
it.
Jumper, no Coon podcast, man. We appreciate y'all, man. Peace.